So this comment says, is your New York City laid out accurately to the real city, or are the buildings just placed where they fit? Also, do you have the Chrysler Building? This is a great question and something I've been wanting to talk about, so let's get right into it. So first off, no, the buildings in the city are not placed randomly. My goal was pretty much to condense New York City into just the most famous buildings and then fit those buildings on a very long table. In other words, I'm making my own version of New York City made out of Lego that can actually fit in my house. But the placement of most of the skyscrapers entirely depends on where the Empire State Building is placed. For example, in real life, the Flatiron Building is actually further up in the city than the Empire State Building. So that's why it's placed here. Or the One World Trade Center and 40 Wall Street are right at the front of the city in real life. In real life, the UN building is right next to the river, so that's why I placed it here. Grand Central and Times Square are a little further up from Rockefeller Center, so that's why I placed them in the way they are here. And past Rockefeller Center is Columbus Circle and Central Park. So there's definitely a lot of thought that goes into how I set up my New York City layout, but by no means am I saying this is a perfectly accurate representation of New York. I want to make that very clear. I am constantly moving buildings around the city whenever I do research and find out that they could be in a more accurate spot than they're currently in. In fact, right now, I'm working on moving buildings around the city for the sake of accuracy. So I am trying my best with the space I have, and given the limitations, I think it's pretty good. And to answer the other part of the question, I do have the Chrysler Building. Comment any thoughts, ideas, or questions that you have, and thanks for watching.